This video is for the nurses or anyone interested in being a nurse. This isn't my usual content, but I have made nursing work for me and I love what I do and I want you to know how to do that too. So in this video, I'm going to share with you how I've learned to love my job, have a good work-life balance, and the nursing hacks I've used to actually do this and how you can do it too. Number one, and your mind might be blown when I say this, but hear me out. Do not be a full-time nurse. Do not work as a staff nurse anywhere. So just so you know my quick history, I've been a nurse for 16 years. The first 8 or 9 of those years, I was an ICU nurse. Those first 2 years of nursing, I was a full-time staff nurse at a hospital. I do think those first 2 years are important to be a full-time nurse somewhere so you can really get your foundation on how to be a nurse. It took me about 2 years to kind of fully understand what I was doing. A lot of nursing is hands-on experience, so it did take me at least 2 years to kind of fully understand and feel confident in my nursing skills. After those 2 years, I went into agency nursing. So I worked for a large hospital that also had their own agency program. And I worked for that agency, which allowed me to be an ICU nurse on all the different ICU floors of that hospital. Now that was scary. That was scary and that was hard to do, but it gave me a really good background in how to be a nurse and how to be a confident nurse. Then because I did that, I was able to go into travel nursing, and then travel nursing gives you a whole extra bump in confidence because you're kind of thrown into a new hospital system and you learn your way through that. It just helps you be a really good nurse with a lot of confidence. So all of this sort of set this foundation for me to feel confident. And even though I was afraid, I still moved around to different parts of the hospital, different hospitals, and that's scary, but that helped me build this confidence to be able to continue on my career, to keep making changes. I think the biggest mistake you can make as a nurse is to work full-time somewhere and never leave. Now, that is perfectly fine and well to do that if you love what you're doing and you love who you're working with and you love the hospital you're working in. But if you don't, the longer you stay there, the harder it is going to be for you to leave and to make a change. So make a change early. I was 2 years in and I started making changes. And although all those changes were scary and hard, it built me up into the nurse I am today, which made me eventually be able to go into switching gears into being a hospice nurse. Then I became a hospice nurse and it was a whole new thing, right? And so I worked full time as a hospice nurse for about 2 years with one company. So I could really learn the ropes, really learn what I was doing, what I needed to do. It's a whole nother area of nursing, right? So it kind of felt like I was new again. And then after 2 years of that, I went per diem. That's the first nurse hack. Do not work full-time. If you've been a nurse for a while and you have some experience, you can work as a per diem nurse. And I know what you're thinking. Well, how am I gonna get the hours? I need to work full-time. That's why I'm doing it. I need the money. When I went to work per diem, I worked for a large agency that always needed nurses. They always needed hours. So when I worked per diem, I actually worked per diem, but full-time hours. And guess what? They pay you more, usually a lot more, and you don't have to deal with all of the full-time staff annoying things like having to work on call, having to work nights, staff meetings, all the things that I think make nursing hard. You get to kind of come and go as you please. Some weeks I would work full-time. Some weeks I would work 32 hours a week. Some weeks I would take off the full week because I needed a mental health break. And then the next week I'd come back and work full-time again. I made enough money to live my life and I felt the feeling of freedom because I had a good work-life balance. So when it comes to nursing, you have to make nursing work for you. And like I said, my number one thing is don't work full-time, work per diem. But my number two thing, in order to be able to do that, you have to have had the experience of kind of being able to bounce around, right? Hence why that first part of my nursing career where I was, a full-time ICU nurse, then I became an agency nurse, then I was a traveling nurse. All those experiences gave me the confidence to be able to work per diem, to switch what part of the hospital I was working in. So they kind of go hand in hand. You need to build your confidence by moving around, trying new things, doing things even though you're afraid to do things. It'll make you a better nurse, and it'll make you feel more confident to be able to do scary things like go from ICU to hospice, right? And then from hospice to full-time hospice to per diem nursing or agency nursing. So those are the first two things. Try not to work as a full-time staff nurse. And 2, don't be afraid to move around and try new things. And guess what? If you don't like the new thing, you move on. You are a nurse. Nurses are always needed. They're needed everywhere. You will always be needed. So move around, know your worth. People need you, and you have the ability to move around and switch positions all you want. Now, I know you have questions in your mind. You're thinking, how do you pay for your retirement? How do you plan for your time off? Is time off paid for? How do you pay for insurance? Those 3 things. Now, those are huge things and they are important. But what I would say to you is, I think my mental health and my life and me enjoying my life are more important than making sure these things are exactly as they should be. But I will give you hacks on how to take care of these because I take care of them. So you have to pay for your own insurance. Yes, it can be expensive, but not as expensive as you would think. At least try it. You do not get paid time off. But guess what? If you're working per diem, the company you're working for should be paying you at least $10 extra an hour. And if they aren't, don't work for them. Per diem nurses need to be making a lot more than their staff nurses because you're not getting insurance, paid time off, or retirement. Okay? So never work for a company that's not paying their per diem nurses a lot more. Okay? And because you're getting paid a lot more, you can take more time off. You don't have to have paid time off. And lastly, I plan for my own retirement. And I know a lot of you are thinking, man, that's not worth it. That's not worth it. But in my opinion, it has been worth it for me. I still made a lot of money. I still could live a good life, and I still plan for all the things I needed to plan for. And I love my job and I love my life. So I really feel like I have made nursing work for me. Now, there are some nurses that are going to watch this that are going to go, I don't need to do that. I love my full-time job. I love who I work with. I love my pay, all the things. If that is you, then this video is not really for you. This video is for nurses who feel dissatisfied, feel like maybe they've made the wrong choice and shouldn't be a nurse, feel like they're burnt out. If that is you, and I know that's many nurses, this video is for you. Don't be afraid to quit that job that you don't like. Quit the job that you don't like. Work for an agency. Do travel nursing. Find a per diem position. That's where you start. You quit your job you don't like. I'm telling you, it's worth it. You work for an agency, you work for a traveling company, or you work for a hospital that has a per diem position with lots of hours available. And then you are going to start seeing how you can really take control of your nursing career and make it work for you. You will get paid more, or at least you should. And if you're not, then don't work for that company. You'll get paid more. You'll have more freedom and flexibility to do what you want. And all the other things like insurance and 401ks will get worked out on their own because you will be able to do it on your own. I have been doing this for the past 5 years. I have never been happier. Never been happier. I've truly made nursing work for me, and I feel like my future is planned out. I have plenty of money. This is all before this hospice nurse Julie stuff came up. I did it all before any social media thing I did, and it's worked out amazing, and I love it. So please, I would love to connect more with my nursing community here on this channel. Please let me know your questions in the comments, or if you do this, please let me know like the best way you've done it, or if you've loved it, if you haven't loved it, some of the issues you've run into. Let's all talk amongst each other and start a community of nurses here. Love you guys.